Coming up on Inside 50 this week, we meet our recent draftees, we reveal our latest 25 and 25 moment, and we preview Saturday night's game at Patterson Stadium against the Swans.
Welcome to another episode of Inside 50. Steve Bandy here. Reece Anderton join me. 2-0, mate. Can you remember the last time we were 2-0?
2-0, very good question. Are you going to tell me the answer?
Oh, eventually. You got it?
No.
2007. Actually went 6-0, so the boys have got some work to do.
Fair way to go still.
Yeah, big show. Injuries, awards. Let's get straight into it.
What's wrong, mate?
I'm just bloody sick of it, mate.
You're sick of it?
I'm sick of it. Every week we're going to come on and report a long-term injury. Is this getting me down?
No, mate. I know. Look, obviously our vice-captain, Bo Waters, is going to miss a minimum of the next 10 weeks. He had surgery on his right elbow yesterday in Sydney. It's the same surgeon that did his left elbow back in 2009.
So why change a winning combination?
Exactly. So, look, devastating news to come out of the weekend, but there were a few positives.
There was. Luke Shuey took out the Round 2 NAB Rising Star Award. Brilliant display. Had 27 touches, 3 goals. We are going to touch on his game a little bit later as we wrap up the Port Adelaide game. But as a matter of fact, Anno and I, the footy heads that we are, called it, predicted it.
Yep.
We have this footage from last week to prove it. We predict the winner of the Round 2 2011 NAB Rising Star will be Luke Shuey.
Luke Shuey.
Cut.
How was that?
Yeah, good.
Good?
So, who's next?
Jack Darling.
Rightio.
Yep.
We predict the winner of the Round 2.
Now, mate, should we tell everyone about Eagle Vision?
Why not? It's happening this Sunday at 3 p.m. again on Channel 7. Got some magnificent segments lined up. We've got some of the boys going surfing. A couple of other boys will take on the Wildcats in a game of basketball. Embers is going to show you how to cook another delicious meal.
It's scrumptious.
It's all happening, really. So get involved, 3 p.m. Sunday on
Channel 7. Do not miss it.
That's it. Now, something we do every year, but we haven't had the chance, really, with 2 debutants. We'd like to introduce you, the fans, to the latest draftees here at the West Coast Eagles.
New faces.
Yeah, it's something we do, even though we've only had 1 season, and we call it tradition.
Yeah.
I'd like to get stuck into it. Here are the first years. Alright, so we're kicking it off with West Coast top draft pick in 2010 and Andrew Gaff. He's already played 2 games this year, so you know who he is. He's the super sub.
Gotta love him.
He reckons his perfect day off is watching a bit of cricket, and the only thing he can't eat is Brad Ebert's salmon. Unlucky.
Another debutant we've had this year is West Perth's Jack Darling. He's already played the 2 games. If he wasn't an AFL footballer, he'd probably be a firefighter. And I wouldn't mess with him off-field either because he's also a qualified Taekwondo instructor.
Oh, nice work.
Pick 29, our 3rd pick overall, Scott Lycett. If you haven't seen him yet, it's hard to miss him. He's a huge man. He's the 2nd tallest bloke at the club behind Coxie. And he's a man after my own heart because his first job was a pizza cutter.
Oh, relate, can you? Nice work. Moving on, Jacob Brennan, son of dual premiership player Michael Brennan. He actually plays off a halfback flank for the East Fremantle Sharks. Yep, he is afraid of sharks. Go and figure that out, because I can't.
Is that ironic?
He reckons the coach's favourite saying is, "Are you listening, Evo?" So that's good. That's good to know. Moving on to our pre-season pick in Blaine Wilson. He's actually a Peel Thunder boy. Had a bit of trouble with groin and ankle problems as he entered the year, but he's now starting to play a bit of senior footy, which is great. Favourite TV show, 2.5 Men. Favourite sports person is LeBron James. And he loves listening to the Tenor Trap.
Moving on to the rookie, Jeremy McGovern. If the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the son of former Fremantle and Sydney player Andrew McGovern. He comes from the successful Claremont Colts. He's quite a big boy, 190 centimetres, will be a key forward. And his childhood hero was West Coast Chris Lewis.
Nice work. Last but not least, Anton Ham, Claremont boy. He's actually playing at full forward at the moment while Chatty Jones has been on the sidelines. He says that his true inspiration are his West Coast teammates. Favourite movie is Inception, so he's a bit of a thinker at the club, and he also says his worst fear is bad drivers. So take care on the roads, take care of Hampy. And that pretty much wraps it up.
Good work.
Moving right along. After winning a best and fairest for Swan Districts in 1987, Indigenous life-wide Troy Ugle was signed to the West Coast Eagles the following year. Now, although he only played 43 games for our great club, one of them was so memorable, it slided in right into moment number 23.
Cleanly but cleverly socketed off the ground.
After falling to the Saints earlier in the season by a sizable 58-point margin, West Coast were keen for revenge for their rematch in round 10, but the capacity whacker crowd was soon silenced by Saints goal kicker Craig Devonport, who booted an astonishing 5 goals in the opening quarter.
Devonport snaps and kicks his fifth. This is amazing.
His opponent was West Coast's Troy Ugle.
Oh, look, I just remember Davenport, of course, down the other end, just kicking goals, and I didn't really realise who it was on until next, you know, Troy's next to me, and I said to him, I said, "What are you doing down here?" He said, "Oh, didn't you see, bro?" He said, "I've had a few kicked on me," and I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "That's fine." And next, you know, he started just having a purple patch, and you know, he got going, which was great for the side.
The decision to shift Ugle forward was pure genius, as he proceeded to boot 6 goals and record a historical victory for the club.
Just with Troy, he could take marks, high marks, all sorts of marks in forward that just to light the side. So to have him forward was just awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it. All I remember was we got flogged early, and obviously Boopy had a real bad one, but managed to turn it around nicely after half time and to kick 5 1/4, and we just stormed home that night, and the crowd was just going nuts.
Oh, that rings a bell. Davenport kicked those goals for St Kilda. He kicked 6 in the first half. Russell Jeffries broke my nose. I went off the field, came back on after half time, and booted a couple of goals because I was angry. And after half time, I said, "Are you ready to go?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." So out I went, and yeah, helped kick a couple of goals. Troy went on to kick after having quite a few kicked on him. He got swung forward and ended up kicking 6 in the second half himself, and one of our greatest ever comebacks down there at the Wacker. So yeah, certainly I'll remember that game for a long time.
Let's have a look at the teams, renewing a very famous rivalry, West Coast versus Sydney.
3-0, baby.
6:10 at Patterson Stadium on Saturday night. HMA Sydney 2 commemorative trophy game. The match was introduced last year in memory of the sacrifice made by HMA Sydney's men and their families. The match will be held annually between Sydney and West Coast. Sydney representing the home port, and West Coast obviously the resting place off the coast of WA.
Great form, mate. Well done. A couple of changes that we should be, aware of.
Obviously, outs, we've touched on Bo Waters, Brad Shepherd's been omitted, but the ins, Eric McKenzie and Sam Butler.
Sam Butler managing only 5 games in 2010, only 66 in 6 years, so he hasn't been on the park all too much, but boy, they love him when he's out there. Suffered from a bit of F-cubed.
F-cubed?
Yeah, he had a freak facial fracture in early rounds of last year. It was really brutal. And then a real serious ankle injury in the mid-season and really restricted him, but played a great role as a small defender in the small amount of time he did play. Eric McKenzie played 18 games last year in the absence of D Glass. It'll be good to see him back out there, especially that's going to free up Will Schofield a little bit. I'd love to see him with a more run-off halfback. It will be the Brad Shepherd type role now that he's out of the side.
Correct.
So
dashing.
Yeah, look forward to seeing a lot of Will Schofield pace and poise hopefully going forward.
Now, I've got a good little stat. Last time we beat Sydney was round 16, 2007. You may remember the game. Ben Cousins came back and had a lazy 38 touches. What you might not remember is Daniel Kerr had 31 touches.
Unbelievable.
So hopefully he can mirror that this week.
Let's hope so. Just touching on the Port game, geez, it was great to see again. The boys get up. What about the performance of Andrew Embley? This bloke is just fine wine written all over him. He's had 32 touches, 11 marks, 4 goals.
Do you reckon he checked that footy on and carry-on baggage? Because he bought his own.
I reckon they didn't want... He must have stunk on the field. No one wanted to get near him. He just had his own game. It was a performance real similar to that Bulldogs round 19 away game where he just took control and said, I am leading this young group to victory and I don't really care what you think.
Well said.
Luke Shuey as well, 27 touches, 3 goals, as I said. What about 10 inside 50s?
Oh, he was everywhere.
I reckon the forwards are just loving Luke Shuey at the moment.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the end of the program, really.
Yes, it is. Don't forget, Eagle Vision, 3 o'clock, Channel 7 this Sunday. Thanks for coming inside 50.
Got a bit of a compilation of tackles here. Josh Kennedy in the first 2 minutes of the game sets the standard with that brilliant tackle. Follows up another 5 minutes later. Great run out of the 50 to hunt down Travis Boak there. And what about Jasper Pittard? Young player, outclassed by Jack Darling. He's like the T1000. Great speed, Jack.
Number 2 this week comes from Luke Shuey. He cleans up at half-back, ball goes to the wing. Now JK takes a mark. Now who's running through the middle of the ground here? Oh wait, it's Luke Shuey. Does he get a handball from Dean Cox? Yes, he does. Continues to run. Goes inside 50 with a handball. Continues to provide an option. Scooter. Gaffy could have blazed away. Nope. He's the man that's kept running. Luke Shuey kicks his second goal. Great effort.
Sledge me all you want. This is one of the best plays I've seen on an AFL ground. Dave Roden tries to shimmy around Bo Waters. Good attemptive tackle there. Goes back for a second effort. Forces the handball to Jasper Pittard. That is a smother again from Beau Waters. Gets the ball back. Could blaze away. But how's that for peripheral vision? Spots Whack running into the pocket. Oh, Andrew Embley does not let his teammate down. That is a great goal, West Coast.